Hi, welcome back to Wellness Through Infertility. I'm Jenna Roscoe. It is June. That means it is Pride Month, so happy Pride Month. I want to talk during this video around people in the LGBTQ community and infertility and what their journey might possibly look like. I myself am cisgender, heteronormative, so I haven't had these personal experiences, though I've done some research. It's really important for me to be not only an ally, but informed, doing additional trainings, really trying to get to a good understanding of who in the LGBTQ community is impacted with their infertility journey and what we can do to be of assistance and to help. One of those things we can do is to be educated. So I'm going to share some information with you, whether you're heteronormative or a member of the LGBTQ community. Welcome, and let's talk. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is adoption. If you are queer, trans, looking to adopt, it was only legal in all 50 states to adopt in 2016. So y'all, I'm not good at math. I think that was only 8 years ago, which blows my mind. One of the big hangups is that many states would prohibit adoption of people who weren't married. So until same-sex marriages was approved, was it 2015? Then it opened the way for other states to be able to accept that because they were kind of using that as like a holdout. There are 28 states, and I'm pretty sure this is current information. There are 28 states that have laws prohibiting discrimination in people pursuing adoption based on sexual orientation and gender identity. So yay, that's only like slightly over half. There are a few more states who have laws prohibiting discrimination for people pursuing adoption based on sexual orientation. We just need to get those a little bit more inclusive to cover gender identity as well. So while that is positive, however, there are 14 states that allow agencies to refuse people who are looking to adopt or to place children with them in foster case situations based on that who they are may conflict with their religious beliefs. So that is just kind of there to include people who are queer, trans. So that's a big number. Imagine wanting to have a family and to be queer, to be trans, and to live in one of those 14 states. In fact, imagine living in any of these states and recognizing that this was not legally available to all states until 8 years ago. Okay, and what does that fear do to somebody internally, externally? Just how does that impact their life, wanting to move forward when you don't know what the future is going to hold? Just because it is a law now doesn't mean it's going to continue to be. So for anybody going through infertility and that constant despair, struggle, fear, anxiety, that's baseline for people who are in the LGBTQ community. And now we have to add all of this on top of it. So that is just there are no words. So I do want to also add that for people who are going through this is a really beautiful way to build a family. And if that's something that you are interested in and open to, I think find the agencies that work with LGBTQ families. And whether you are single or you are partnered or you are married, there are a lot of good agencies out there who have a lot of experience placing kids with who are in the LGBTQ community. So check it out. I'm a big fan of asking for referrals. Like, talk to your community, talk to the people you know. If you are engaged in organizations who might have some resources for you, use those. Firsthand experience is always best, right? So looking for the communities that really work to service and empathize and have an understanding around queer trans folk who are looking to build their families. So that's what I want to say around adoption. If you're looking into using assisted reproductive medicine to build your family, there's a few things that I think are added layers on top of this. So many people who are queer or trans have had bad experiences in doctor's office, right? They've faced discrimination, they faced harassment, they've had to go to unnecessary appointments, or they've had to argue their case over and over again. They haven't received appropriate care, or they haven't received empathy. So then you want to add other doctor's offices that during a time that's extremely vulnerable, again, baseline, going to doctor's offices for fertility treatments is really scary, is really nerve-wracking, is practically kind of a pain in the ass. Like, we got other things to do. We have jobs, we have families, extended families. Like, there are things going on in our life, and having to do these constant appointments when we have possibly some really bad experiences or even medical trauma, that's a lot to hold. So again, there are a lot of agencies, fertility clinics who are very inclusive, who really work with queer or trans folk in terms of having a biological child, if that's what feels right for you. So talk to people talk to organizations you're a part of, ask the clinic questions, of course, look on their website. You can also go to the Health Equality Index through the Human Rights Campaign, and that is a qualification that medical agencies have to go through. They have to prove that they meet these certain standards in inclusive care to be able to be placed on this list. So not everyone who provides inclusive care is on this list, but if they're on the list, they've really gone the extra way to show that this is important to them, to show that their agency is aware and focused and prioritizing. So that's a cool resource. Human Rights Campaign, Health Equality Index. Surrogacy is an option for people who are two people who have sperm, regardless of kind of gender identity, if that's biologically what we're working with. Surrogacy can be an option. Surrogacy is really expensive. There's a lot of financial aid opportunities though, like if you're able to kind of dig around, people who want to help with that. Also, you don't have to pay for surrogacy kind of right off the bat. Like, I sort of thought it was just a huge lump sum, but you are able to do payments over time. So that's very cool. Ask about that if you are looking into this as an option. If you are also two people who both have sperm and you both are physically healthy and you both want to be a biological parent, how do you decide which sperm to use? Like, I think that has got to be extremely challenging for people. And is one person left out? Do we try one and then we try the other? Another question that some people have to experience and ponder through that other people don't. I kind of had the thought of like, can we just throw everything, in a petri dish and mix things together? You were not allowed to do that. So due to things that I don't fully understand, but there's regulations around health and medical material that can't all get smushed together. You got to know whose is whose, which I guess makes sense. So, however, if you do have egg donors, you are allowed to separate the eggs and then have sperm from person A and sperm from person B, kind of see what they can fertilize on both ends. So that's a cool way to do it. Another component that I was thinking of regarding assisted medical reproduction is if you are interested in having a biological child and you have the physical equipment to do so, but that physical equipment does not match your gender identity. So let's just say you have a uterus and you identify as either non-binary or a man, and you are capable of carrying a child, and part of you really wants to do that, and part of you also is interested in testosterone treatments and moving into that direction. What does that do to you mentally as your body starts to change, as you have to either back burner one desire to pursue another desire in your life, as you're doing both simultaneously? I think that that's just got to be very, very, very challenging for some people. And I just want to be embracing all these people who are going through infertility in general, and then all these other components around sexual orientation and gender identity that is coupled on it, with also assuming that there's also a heightened chance of miscarriage or babies not coming to term through assisted medical reproduction, possibly due to all the discrimination in the world that people are going through, right? Like, it is statistically out there that people who are in marginalized communities have lower success rates in assisted reproduction medicine, or in live births. So I'm just going to take the gamble. I'm not a statistician, but I'm just going to assume that is due to all the transphobias and homophobias that are out there in this world. So a lot of this is really shitty, okay? And I want to come back to the fact that while it is significantly overdue that people in the queer and trans communities have more access to be able to build their families, Currently they do, and there are different options to go through, whether you were interested in looking into adoption or you were interested in looking into assisted reproductive medicine. So my number one thing is make sure if you have a partner, you and your partner are being really honest around what the priority is for you. Make sure you are talking to your clinics or your agencies and asking them really tough questions, trusting your gut. Everything in fertility feels so desperate, feels like, you know, if someone's just giving us these slim chances, or we're feeling like not a great vibe working with them, but we want to make it happen so badly, we're often we want to push that side away that's telling us that this doesn't feel right. And I'm just going to encourage you, for your mental health, to really try to make sure that you are with people who feel like they are taking care of you and who understand you, and they want to work for the best possible situation for you as an individual. Use your resources. There are a lot of resources out there. Use the people in communities and in educational groups that are around you, and use your support system, like biological families, found families. Like, who are the people that you love and love you and are going to be there to walk with you down this journey? Okay, it's a long and isolating journey, and people love you, and they are going to be so excited for you as you move down this journey of building a family. So let me double check my notes. Last thing I want to say is that the infertility diagnosis in medical journals out there used to, up until last year, talk about not being able to conceive for 1 year from trying, and from essentially vagina, penis, penetration, no contraception. So when this didn't work for a year, then technically you have an infertile diagnosis. So that only qualifies certain people for it. And if you need an infertility diagnosis on your medical chart to help you pay for some of these treatments, and you don't meet that criteria, that's going to create a lot of problems. So thankfully, only just last year, well, it happened, but only just last year was this updated to include not only just if you have an egg and a sperm, they are not working together, but if you are not able to have that egg and that sperm working together. So more open-ended, more inclusive. We're slowly moving down the right direction, and I am very hopeful. So I hope this helps. Please let me know any comments, feedback. If this is helpful, please like it, please share it, please subscribe. If there's other things that you would like brought up on this channel, shoot me a message, put it in the comments, and I'm glad you're here. So happy June, happy Pride, take care of yourselves, your physical health, your mental health. All right, bye.